Hello everyone, this is Sumitrati here. I'm starting this YouTube channel called Walk of Life to take you over my life here in the US, how I got moved here, how I'm living here, how I'm taking care of myself here day to day basis, how I've recovered from a depression, and how I'm dealing with a recently diagnosed medical condition. So the topic I chose for today's video was how I was diagnosed with a medical condition and what exactly happened. So it started with mid of June. I was having a little headache, which I never had because this of course, I have had headache, but this was something different. It was so severe that I was not able to focus on anything when it hits. It was kind of wavy headache. Call it as. So I took some pain relievers and headache medicines, Tylenol, and all that stuff, but it didn't help. So, 22nd of June 2020, I woke up because I work as a software engineer for Infosys, and my client was Centris at that particular time. So I woke up early morning at 7 a.m. and I logged in, and I figured there was something messy with my eye, but I thought, okay, probably I just woke up, it might be. Then I woke up and opened my computer as usual and ready to log in, but I was not able to see anything out of my left eye. Like, it was blurry vision. Like, I could see the farther vision, but I was not able to read anything, hold up this close to my eye or something. And usually when you're working on laptop, you kind of hold your screen close. So I was not able to see anything. I freaked out. I was like, what in the world is wrong with my eye? And of course, I was having some headaches as well this morning. So I was like, okay, I cannot work. I called my manager and told that, okay, I will not be able to work today because I have to run and see my ophthalmologist because I was not able to see out of my left eye. I mean, that's what a normal instinct would be like, to just go and see your ophthalmologist because you were dealing with a eye. So I just ran there. I just called him first and I was like, okay, do you have any appointment? I need an appointment, please. Can you make one for me as soon as possible? So he gave me the first possible available appointment because we are talking about early in the morning at this point of time, like 8ish or something. So I ran up there. He, of course, dilated my eye, which I hate because when dilation happens, it kind of anyway gives me headache. So that happened, and he kind of checked and he did all his tests. I sat there. He was like, okay, outer periphery of your eye looks kind of okay, but he was not sure what's happening. He said one thing. He said your pupils are not reacting. That's what he said. Like, they're not shrinking, and like, as you know, like when we go close to light and when we go far away from light, our pupils kind of shrink and expand, right? So that was not happening with my eye, that as per the doctor. So he said he kind of thinks it has something to do with neurological your nerves back there in your brain or something. So he said he cannot say anything at this point of time because he doesn't have my results. So what he suggested and wrote a letter for me to, well, I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. So he said, go see a neurologist in Emory and have them do your CT scan, and they'll probably analyze you after that. So I went there. First of all, of course, this is a COVID-19 situation, so they won't let me in. So I was running in an emergency room. They kind of hold me into one particular room and they did my COVID test first. And I tell you guys, that was the worst possible test I have ever gone through. Like, I really, of course, I have gone through a swab test, nasal swab test is what they call them. And they inserted that big thingy in my nose and I literally felt it up there in my brain. I was like, I don't know, Lulu. I mean, if you want, I can make a video about what my reaction was on this whole COVID test, because this was a whole episode and nurse had to kind of stay back there and kind of work with me because I was really pain in the butt at that particular point of time. I admit I was. Then so that came negative, which at that point I was not sure whether I should be happy or not, because anyway I was dealing with a hospital and medical condition, so I was not sure what's happening. So I was there. It came negative. They did my CT scan, and ophthalmologist at Emory came and saw me. He of course dilated my eye again. So this was the second dilation in one day, guys. I'm talking about people cannot handle one dilation. I was dilated twice in the same day. So that dilation happened. He checked. He also confirmed the same thing, that he doesn't see anything on the outer periphery. Although he told me one thing. He said, "I don't know why your initial ophthalmologist told you to do CT scan. They should have actually asked you to go for a MRI, because in your MRI scans you can actually read all your brain nerves and all that stuff." I'm not a medical guy, guys, but I have learned lot many medical terms lately. So I was trying to just explain you what I went through. So, anyways, so he said, "Okay, we cannot do your MRI, but I'm suggesting whoever is gonna see you that we need your MRI chest." So I said, "Does that mean that I have to stay here?" He said, "Yeah, you got that right. So you have to stay there and be admitted and hospitalized." So I was like, shoot, I was not prepared. But so MRI scans done, and he said, "Okay, probably doctor is gonna come and see you." Then the doctor who came and saw me was from the department called neuropthology. I have heard for the first time. Basically, it's a neurology and ophthalmology combined together. That was the kind of doctor who was seeing me. So he said, "Yeah, your eye kind of looks good. It was not at all a problem, but and your MRI results are back. But we need to see one more thing with our senior doctors, and we gotta dilate you one more time. This is a third dilation in 2 days." So I was like, "Okay, fine, go ahead." They dilated me, of course, which kind of made my eyesight even more worse, and I was not able to see out of both of my eyes, basically. So they did that, and my MRI results came, and the doctor said they're not sure what exactly it is, because they have to run few more tests to confirm what I'm going through. But they laid kind of possibilities, what three things I might have. One was optical neuritis, second thing was NMO, and third thing was either I have multiple sclerosis. I was like, I was all alien through all these three terms. And mind you guys, I was not able to see anything out of my eye, because a normal instinct would be person would go on his phone and kind of read about him. I was not able to do any of those things. So I was like, "Okay, fine, do what you think like." Then by the evening, he said that, "Okay, first we gotta address your vision, and we need your vision to get back on track." So what they were going to do was put me on steroids. I was like, hell, okay, I have no idea. And I was like, "Okay, fine." Then they did steroid first dosage, second dosage, third dosage, and my eyesight was not back. Mind you guys, this is the sixth day from getting admitted. I'm talking about 6 days without both of your eyes. And of course, my right eye got impacted with the same thing as well. I was not able to see closer things out of both of my eyes. I could able to figure out who is standing, who looks how, like farther vision was okay, but when you held thing closer to my eye, like texting and phone and looking up somebody's number, no, I was not able to do any of those things because my pupils weren't reacting, as I said. So I was like, "Okay, fine." Doctor came and visited me. He said, "Okay, we gotta shift to plan B. Now what we are going to do is your plasma exchange, which is also called as PLEX." I was like, "Okay," and I was not sure. I thought they would do through IV, but they said, "No, we gotta do Vascad into your neck." I still have that particular thing here, where basically they kind of pushed the Vascad, and they kind of drawn my blood and inserted synthetic plasma into it, and through one particular probe they kind of redirected my blood back into my body. That was the whole thing. So basically they couldn't give me the local anesthesia because I had my lunch, so they had to kind of work with it. And that pain was immense. There was a lady, she was like, okay, you can pressure, you can hold my hand as tight as possible and you can do it. I know it's painful and it's not a very good feeling. So I was like, I just was shouting and I hold that lady's hand, actually thanks to her, because I couldn't have been able to do it without her. So they inserted that thing, they kind of did the dressing, and they applied one stitch to kind of hold it in place, and they released me. They said, okay, tomorrow is gonna be your first plasma exchange, you are now up and ready for all that. So first day of plasma exchange happened. It was kind of long process, 90 minutes, actually 90 minutes process, where the nurse comes in your room and she does her own thing, she runs kind of tests and all that stuff, and she kind of do your plasma exchange. First day of plasma exchange went really good. Then of course it was Sunday, and doctor initially said that, okay, we cannot do plasma back to back, you have to do one plasma, then 1 day break, then the second one, like that. So we were looking at 10 days. I was like, okay, I cannot deal with the hospital. Actually, I was not having a problem with the hospital. What I was having was something up in my brain, because I had this I was getting paranoid basically, because I was in hospital and all that stuff. I've never dealt with hospital in my whole life, and this was my first experience, and that too admitted, and that too by my own, because none of my friends were able to visit me because of this COVID. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll deal with it. Then second Sunday passed, and then the second plasma exchange came. Doctor said, okay, your body is kind of accepting plasma really good, based on the test and everything which they were doing. So he said, okay, we're gonna do one more plasma today and we're gonna do one more tomorrow. We only gonna take one break, which is gonna be after the third plasma. So I was like, okay, good. It kind of reduces few of my days in the hospital. So second plasma went, third plasma went, and by the time the third plasma went, I started to gain my eyesight back. I couldn't thank God. What was, I mean, I just thought it was miracle, like, of no eyesight to getting your eyesight back. That was happening to me at that point of time, and I was so happy that something is working. Then took 1 day break, then took two more plasmas, and everything went good. And by the time and that was my fifth plasma, I was not wearing my glasses, as I'm not wearing now. So doctor kind of looked at me and he said, so Mr. Rathi, how much is your vision back? I said, I want to say still 95% back. Doctor was like, Mr. Rathi, do you wear glasses? I was like, yes, I do have power and I do wear glasses. He was like, okay, that 5% I cannot give it back to you, so that's the best you can get. So I was like, I pulled my glasses and put them on, and then I saw, and I was like, okay, I see normal. That's exactly where I was, and I kind of see it now. So it was kind of joke, and doctor laughed, everyone laughed. He was like, okay, now we can release you because your eyesight seems to be back and you seem to be doing good, because they ran all the tests and everything. So they kind of said that, okay, we are able to release you. And also during all this time I was on blood thinner shots. I'm not sure why they do it, but when you're on plasma, probably that's a mandatory thing to do or something. So I was on blood thinner shot. So when I actually getting released, nurse came and she was kind of working with it, and she was like, okay, hum, because she was ready to pull that vascat. She was like, okay, you hum, and then I'll be done. So I did hum, and she removed it. I was okay. I was like, okay, that was not painful. Of course I felt it, something coming out of my body, because that probe was probably touching my heart, so it was that level exposed with my body. So of course I felt it, but that was not too bad. But cut to, within 2 minutes, my whole body started sweating as if I just came out of shower. I was that sweating. Then I started having immense chest pain, and then within a minute I was having shortness of breath. I was like, what is happening? I don't like this feeling. And then nurse said that it was heavily bleeding also. So she kind of hold cotton and whatever that thing was up here, and she was trying to stop me bleeding. um, okay, within 10 minutes, the whole crew of like 13, 14 people was inside of my room. I was getting ECG. There were 4 people sticking me needles everywhere and trying to get blood for the test running, ECG and whatnot, x-rays. Everything was going on. So basically what I was having was, I was having a stroke at that particular time. Guys, I'm 29. I mean, I will be 30 next month, but I had heart attack and this whole thing, and I was doing it by my own. Of course, I was not in my shape. I was not in state of mind to handle anything at that particular point of time. So well, it was undercover because I got the best condition, best kind of treatment in Emory, and they kind of treated me. And I'll make one more video if you want to hear about my heart attack story, whatever it was. And that was kind of funny because I kind of became sassy at that particular point of time, and I kind of replied other people very rudely and all that stuff. So I'm sorry about that, but doctors were cool and everything was cool. So they said, okay, we gotta keep you under observation for 3-4 hours more because you just had a stroke. This is me getting normal, after having a stroke. So he told me. I was like, okay, fine. And after 4 hours, I kind of felt good, came home and kind of sat there and did my thing. Not been drinking after that. And I was like, yeah. So this is my story about the medication. So the main thing I did not told you guys what happened. So my reports were still going back in, like they were kind of working with what kind of disorder I have, and whether it is optical neuritis, NMO, or multiple sclerosis. We don't know the answer yet. So I was there, got my eyesight back, kind of did my research, which a normal person should not do, is going on internet and try to diagnose yourself. I did, guys. I'm sorry about it, but I did that and I kind of feel sorry for that. But I did it. I was getting depressed and all that stuff. But I kind of recovered. My family helped a lot in me getting out of this whole scenario, because they kept like, okay, I was a mess at that particular time, because I was like, okay, why me? Why life is being brutal to me and all that stuff. My brother and one very dear friend, he kind of got me out of that whole mess. But I was okay. And after a few days, I was about to get my medical reports. So I got a call that your reports are ready. They kind of scheduled me for an appointment with Emory neurologist, because neurology team was a team who was going to work on my reports. So I got it, and doctor said, okay, this is not the good news, and I hate that I have to do it. But at that particular point of time, I kind of made peace with it, that I have something wrong up in there going in with my nervous system. So I was kind of making peace with it, you know. So I said, doctor, go ahead. I'm okay. That's fine. I have it. Like, we can't change the fact. So he said that, okay, the disorder you have is multiple sclerosis. And I was like, okay, that's what I thought it is going to be, because I did not wanted NMO. I did not wanted optical neuritis based on the research which I should have not done, but I did. So I was like, okay. And that was kind of a sad news for me, but I was trying to be as positive as possible. He said, okay, this is not the end. We're gonna put you on a medication called Ocrevus, because that seems to be a good medication for getting rid of, not rid of, so from what they kind of do is kind of suppress the future attacks of multiple sclerosis. That's what they're looking at, if I understand. Like, you guys can correct me if somebody is going through the same problem, they can correct me. But at this point of time, I am so positive, and I'm trying to take one day at a time, and I've learned the biggest lesson in my life, that life is so unpredictable. All of your plans can just go, like, they can just vanish. So don't make plans, don't expect too much out of life. Just live one day at a time, you know. One day at a time should be your mantra to live your life, you know. This medical condition has taught me a lot and kind of made me an independent person and a better version of myself. I would say I was a mess. I cannot even say better version of myself, I should say altogether better version of how a person should be, you know. So that's what happened. And yes, I do have multiple sclerosis, and I'm not on any kind of medication at this point of time. I do still have my wavy headaches, but in 3 days from now, when I release this video, is gonna be my first infusion of Ocrevus, and I'll walk you through, and I'll let you know how do I feel of after getting my Ocrevus done. But this is where I am. I'm just blessed to be in this world. I'm thankful to God, I'm thankful to my friends, I'm thankful to people who are my well-wishers. So I'll keep you guys posted about my life, and about my medical history, and also how do I live here. Don't worry guys, it's not gonna be sad all the time. Not all the time. It's gonna be my medical condition. It's gonna be fun. How do I live here? How do I take care of my house? Because I own a house here. I do have my dogs. How do I take care of my pets and all of that stuff? And fashion, of course. So like, stay tuned guys. So if you like my video, press the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and press the bell icon so that you'll be notified the first when I upload a new stuff. Thank you and love you all. Bye bye.